I think when you have the word mental anything, nothing else gets heard. People just see the word mental and they immediately go to ill health. And I would say what's really important here is that we look at the whole spectrum of well-being. And I actually like to bring an analogy from the medical world to bring this to life for people, which was in the 1970s, they finally made the causal effect between smoking and cancer. I mean, they knew it, but they were able to ignore it until that point when it was no longer ignorable. And that rose a big debate in the medical world around the idea of cure versus prevention, because for decades, really, the medical world had been focused on the eradication of illness and disease. And through this causal link with smoking and lung cancer, they realised actually we need to educate people about maladaptive behaviours and educate them not to smoke, and also to exercise and to learn about nutrition and sleep and all of these things. And if we do that, we can keep millions out of the system, save billions, and positively enhance the lives of millions of people. Isn't that a good idea? Bloody right, it's a good idea. But I am calling for us to take that same approach to our mental and emotional well-being as well. So when we talk about mental fitness, it's really about if you can visualize a spectrum in your mind. So let's imagine the left-hand side is mental ill health, right? So you might have, in a work context, you might have stress, anxiety, burnout, etc., depression. There's all sorts of things in that bucket. And focus is put on getting people from -5, -10 to 0, right? And a lot of the wellness initiatives are also really focusing about keeping people out of the mental ill health bucket. And that's fundamentally important, and it's a very underserved and underfunded area. However, it's one part of the story, because the absence of illness does not equal health. So in the book, I make the argument, and in the work that we do with leaders and teams all around the world, we make the argument that that's not enough. Are we really satisfied with getting people to 0 or to +1 or to +2? What about this whole other end of the spectrum, which is mental fitness, where we enhance and strengthen people's inner game? We help them acknowledge that they have resources inside of them, that if they can understand their thinking, their emotions, how they make decisions, how they handle stress, then that can become an asset for themselves and also for the teams that they are in. And the other thing that this does is we know that the whole mental ill health space is taboo. And to go into your original question, Alex, why is this only really coming to the fore now? It's because it's been you don't touch it, let's not talk about this. There's shame wrapped up in it. It must mean that I'm broken, that I'm not good enough. And actually, if we start to move the conversation to the mental fitness aspect, which is what becomes possible when we educate and enhance people, it actually removes the taboo from the topic, because it's future focused and it's really about optimizing. And so I think it's really important that that's the conversation I want to start to have. And it doesn't mean we're going to take resources from the mental ill health part. No, they need more resources, but we're widening the scope of the conversation.